This is the third video for 7.2a. Now, as you can tell, you made a prediction, and now we're going to look at what happens when we deal with this h. And we'll get to the fact that it's technically x minus h, but in this case, we have plus 2. And the first one was done for us. Again, I would go to some scratch paper, and I would do this with a strict PEMDAS approach, which means that what was the next value? -3. So y equals absolute value bar is -3 plus 2. Ignore the fact that maybe this table didn't use the same values, but it should produce the same graph. -3 plus 2 is -1. Absolute value of -1 is 1. We did these exact type problems in module 1. And we said that we can't absolute value these individually. We can't distribute them, that we need to treat these like brackets or parentheses and deal with the number crunching inside. And then lastly, deal with the bars. So we've got a 1. Next, let's go to -2. -2 plus 2 is 0. And absolute value of 0 is 0. And we're going to keep going with this. You'll notice that the table is a bit off center. I wouldn't be too concerned about how to pick these values. They're usually set up for you, or you can just kind of randomly pick some values. So we had 1 for -3, we had 0 and -1. -1 plus 2 is 1. Absolute value of 1 is 1. We can start to see what's happening here. And then plug in 0, and we can see that that's 2. All right, so you can extend this table actually if you want to keep going. So +1 is probably going to be 3. And so we get a graph. And I'm not going to worry that mine doesn't look that great. You can use the line segment tool, but you get the idea. And here we've got a more finished version. And so this was a slide. And strangely enough, which starts to explain what's going on here, this was translated to the left. That maybe you predicted that this would be some sort of slide, maybe right to, or maybe you thought it was up to, but it actually went left to. That's kind of weird. So that explains maybe why this has that built-in minus sign. And so that was our second transformation. So we saw a flip on the first one, and now we're seeing a translation left.